Hi guys, I'm here with Grace, who is 10th place, the 12th person voted out, and the fourth member of our jury. Hi Grace.
Hi.
So, another idol play. Did you expect to go home here?
Yes, I did. You can ask pretty much everybody that was in the game that voted for Milo that round. I had gone around and told everyone I was gonna get idled out, and well, here we are. So, I definitely expected it. I didn't expect it right towards the end because I really didn't think Milo had an idol after I talked to him, but I knew that if he did, it was me, even though he didn't vote me. That's a long story.
So I think you just put this in Ponderosa, but that last parchment, we've seen that kind of parchment in both your
Yes, we
seasons.
have.
Do you have any idea about that?
Basically, I was talking to Chico and I didn't believe a word she said, but we were talking and I said something and I was like, I'm tired of just sitting in this game and being told what to do by a man. And then she put on the parchment, um, you getting told what to do by a man as always. So, thanks a lot, Chico. Glad you got what you wanted.
So we have a quote unquote viewer question from Brandon, season 6, season 7. Um, he asked how you like Queen's Gambit.
I love Queen's Gambit, and I was really sad. I didn't watch any of it without you because I was like, I can't watch it. It's like sacrilege. I have to wait to watch it with Brandon.
What do you
So
mean
I did not.
don't expose you? Brandon says don't expose me, like he didn't ask the question. Okay, so really interestingly, this round and last round the same happened and Idol negated all but 3 votes, and those 3 votes were in a 2-1. Last time you were the 1 vote, but this time
Mhm. I
you
was
were
the
the
2.
one. I just thought that was very interesting. But kind of going off of that, like obviously in Cayman, you had 2 idols, and then this time you got idled out. How do you play around idols, like in an all-stars season, especially?
I was kind of I don't really know how. Like this idol thing was so frustrating because I felt like the safari was so much smaller, so it was so obvious that idol was going to get found like that by whoever found it. So it was like really hard to know who had the idols. And as somebody who didn't find any advantages, I feel like that's maybe my karma for finding 3 in Cayman. Um it was very difficult to navigate, but I am glad that I got to go home in like such an iconic way. I feel like that really rounds out my Phoenix arc.
So you had some strong final words like directed towards Wes. Can you walk us through the meaning behind that?
Yeah, so basically all day today, Wes has told me that I needed to trust him and that he had everything under control and that everyone was voting Milo, and I knew that was not true. Like that made no sense game wise, and I knew it wasn't. So I told Wes, I was like, okay, well, like I'm going to trust you here. I'm not gonna throw my vote. I'm going to vote Milo and I'm gonna go offline. And I hope that you're right, but I know that you're wrong. Those are exact words I said. I hope that you're right, but I know that you're wrong. And because I guess maybe I got a little bit heated, but I knew he was wrong. So like he just refused to listen to me. So I feel like my strong final words were warranted and I love Wes to death whenever he watches this. Like Wes is an amazing human and I'm really glad I got to meet him in this season. But like he deserved it.
So
That's all.
um Ian from season 4 and this season asked, how did the season compare to Cayman Islands for you? Which one did you enjoy more?
Oh, this season was so much harder than Cayman. I think overall I enjoyed this season more just because I got to know people a lot better. But Cayman was like almost too easy for me. Like I felt like everything just went my way. I found basically every advantage. Like nothing could possibly go wrong. And then in this season, it felt like everything would go wrong. So I think this season was a lot more challenging. I'm really glad that I got to play from the bottom and not be somebody in control because I really wasn't for a lot of this. I had like my own plans to eventually take control, but I knew it was a waiting game and I never got my chance, which is fine.
So you came in as a winner, but not only a
hmm
winner, you also had fan favorite and player of the season. So how did that impact your game and how did you play around that?
I feel like I had the worst cards coming into the season because I obviously looked like the biggest threat. I mean, like I literally won every award on Cayman. And I felt like it was really difficult. Like people would be guarded with me. I didn't think I would actually find allies that really like wanted to actually go far with me. So I felt like I was always at like a disadvantage compared to other people in the game. But I did feel like I navigated it pretty well. I mean, I did get taken out by an idol. It's not like I actually had people vote me out. And I do think that if this idol didn't take me out, then I could have gone a lot further. I mean, time will tell if I'm right on that one, but I really do think I was set up to go like to the end game if an idol didn't take me out. Wait, just slight side note, this is the second time I've gotten 10th place in an org, and both times I was idled out. That's
It's
fun.
a repeat performance. You're just
Yeah.
cursed
I
at
got idled out of
10th
Bangarang.
place.
I got 10th.
What would you say your biggest regret from this game is?
Not throwing my vote with Tommy. Tommy and I had a plan to throw 2 votes this round, but I went back on it because I didn't want Wes to hate me if Wes was right, because Wes was telling me that I needed to put trust into him. And I went back on my plan because I didn't want to go behind Wes's back. And that's my biggest regret. Because I would have, like, I mean, granted, I think I could have stayed because it would have been Sophia that we voted for. And I think I could have stayed in a tie against Sophia, but, you know, you live, you learn.
More positively, what would you say your proudest moment is?
No offense, Courtney, but probably taking out Courtney because I felt like that was something that I came up with and I was able to execute. Like I had the idea and then I realized I had the pieces to make it happen and I made sure it happened. And even if that was a bad move in hindsight, I don't really think it was. I don't think these idols like really were indicative of the games that Brandon and I were playing. I just think that it was just like idols are luck, no matter what, as someone who's held idols. But that was the move I was most proud of. But I'm also just like proud of all of the relationships I've made with people, like especially Wes. Even though I'm like mad at him and I just might have, you know, caused a little drama on the way out. I do love Wes, and I'm glad I got to meet him in the season, as well as like everyone else. And I'm glad I bought Netflix for Brandon.
Um,
No.
so back on Cayman, you had your legion, and I believe we called them Grace Simps, of all these people that thought you were their number one and they were yours. And they all would die for you in the game. Do you think you achieved that here, or do you think you changed your social gameplay?
I think I had not as good of a setup, obviously, but I do think I had at least like 3 or 4 people that definitely had my back in the short term, at least until at least until the end game. Like I really do think I had a similar setup, but obviously not nearly as flawlessly executed. I think I still would have struggled the rest of the game no matter what.
Is there anything you sort of want to delve into or talk about that I haven't mentioned?
Just basically, I guess I'll explain what happened this round a little bit. Was basically just like I didn't want to vote Milo, but everyone just seemed to want to vote Milo. And then for some reason, Wes told the people who were supposed to be left out of it that we were voting Milo, which made it like Wes apparently, like I could be wrong, but from my perspective, Wes really thought it was going to be a unanimous vote on Milo. And like I said earlier in this interview, I told Wes that I hope that you're wrong, but I know that, or I hope that you're right, but I know that you're wrong. So I knew that this was just going to fall apart, but I trusted because to me in these games, there's sometimes like there's people who your bonds with them go beyond the game and the game isn't as important as the people are. And I just really wanted Wes to know that I did trust him, even if it dug me into the grave. And I would really hope that like somehow Wes like caused this to happen and it was like some major secret play. You know, like I really would hope that Wes didn't just screw up that bad. But from my perspective, I think I just went home because of other people's choices. In my own, but a lot of other people's.
Speaking of other people, who left in the game would you say are rooting for?
Tommy, 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 Tommy. I am rooting for Tommy. I really, really would love Tommy to win twice. I think Tommy and I had such a similar story going into this merge. Tommy and I just constantly felt like we were on the bottom and like there was nothing we could do. And like we had like relationships, but it seems like nobody really wanted to work with me or Tommy. So I really hope Tommy can like go in there and kick some ass and like fight people and get to the end. I'm also rooting for Nate. I love Nate to death. I was actually on voice chat with Nate when I got voted off, and I just had to awkwardly say bye and leave. But I would love for Nate to do well. I don't know how good of a chance he has compared to other people, but I would really hope Nate can pull some stuff off. And I really would be happy with anyone winning. Like I don't think I have like a specific person that like my Jerry vote would be locked for. Like I think right now the only person I probably wouldn't vote for is Chico just because I think that like I don't know. I feel like sometimes like the parchment and all kinds of stuff is just a little bit like too much and she would really have to like show me that like she played the game and didn't just rely on like the gimmicks of like writing in wingdings on a parchment. And then also like I really don't see Wes's game as being impressive right now. I think he's made quite a few mistakes and I would hope he could recover from them. But I said this in the game like myself. Like I really just would hope Wes would try to play better because I think that the rabbit hole he's going down is the same one that he said Brandon was going down. Wes is overplaying so bad right now. And I just don't think if he made it to the end, it would be a impressive showing. So I hope he can prove me wrong.
Do you think that your relationship with Chico from season 5 impacted this all? Like, the
Probably.
fact you went
I mean, I'm not gonna say that it didn't because I definitely didn't want Chico to be around because Chico just seemed to have it out for me for like like just in Cayman, like she voted me out and said I'm ruining your perfect game and like all kinds of stuff like that. So just like maybe a little bit, but also like I tried to reach out to her. I reached out to every single person in this tribe, like almost nearly every day. I would message everyone first, "Hey, good morning." So like it's not that I didn't try. It was just that I think it was inevitable that Chico was going to want to vote me out because of Cayman. And I thought that eventually Ben would also probably want to try to vote me out, but I'm glad that that didn't happen.
So I asked who you're rooting for, but who do you actually think has the best chance of winning?
Oh my gosh. I really don't know at this point. I feel like it's so early on, but I really think that him has a good chance if he doesn't get taken out. And people are trying to like oh I shouldn't say that. Okay, never mind. Never mind on that tangent. But people are trying to get Tim out eventually, but people are waiting on that move. And I think if they wait too long that Tim could just make a run for it. I don't think Tommy has the best chances at making the end, but I think Tommy would have a good case. I really just like the Maraca Boys minus Ben, I think have a good shot. And like if the trio of like Milo, Alicia, and Chi make it, I think Milo has a great chance at winning. Milo had like such a smart idea today, and Milo tried to give me the olive branch to save myself, and I obviously didn't catch on to it. And I think a lot of us would be happy to vote Milo to win after all of this, just because Milo's been such a huge threat. So I think if Milo made it, he had a good chance at winning. I don't think anyone has a horrible chance. I just think there's some people that are on bought time and others that just, if the game goes like without flipping, which I'm sure it wouldn't, then like there's people who aren't going to have an impressive showing by the end. So I really hope that they can turn it around, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So my last question for you is word association. So I'm just
Hmm.
going to go through everyone left in the game and you say the first thing that comes to mind. Alicia,
Challenges.
Ben,
Banjo.
Chi,
Um, pain in my ass.
Milo,
Skyfall.
Nate,
Best friend.
Fee,
Um, iconic.
Tim,
Angel.
Tommy,
Amazing.
and Wes.
Um, God, that one's hard. The first thing that came to my mind was struggling.
Thank you so much for playing Grace, and thank you so much for joining me for this interview. And I will stick it up on the YouTube soon, unlisted, of course. But
Thank you for having me. I had a good time.
yeah, thank you so much for playing, and I will see you.
Okay. Okay, bye.